Welcome to another edition of Ask Isaiah in-game NBA analysis. This particular game is the Boston Celtics versus the Philadelphia 76ers. This is a premier matchup for the Eastern Conference where both teams seem to be going in opposite directions. Now, the Celtics came into this season with heavy championship expectations, and the Sixers were looked at as a team with immense potential, obviously led by Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. But when you look at where the Celtics were one game away from beating LeBron James-led Cavaliers team, to be one game within the finals without Gordon Hayward and Kyrie Irving out due to injury. The team looked like it was poised to be one of the premier teams battling with the Golden State Warriors for a championship. But playing with that expectations coming into 2018-19, they haven't lived up to that. The Philadelphia 76ers, on the other hand, needed to make a big splash to try to get into that top tier with the Boston or a Toronto Raptors who acquired Kawhi Leonard. Newly acquired GM Elton Brand this season made some big splashes by trading for Jimmy Butler earlier in the season, and over the last week made a huge splash at the trade deadline, trading for Tobias Harris from the Los Angeles Clippers, while also trading away uh, Markel Fultz to the Orlando Magic for Jonathan Simmons. Along the way, the Sixers improved their bench by getting Bogdanovich from the Clippers as well, and then you add into the fold Mike Scott as well coming off the bench. So this Sixers team seems to be poised to make a playoff run now. And when you look at them getting rid of Fultz when they did, now you're preparing to try to re-sign at least one of the Jimmy Butler or Tobias Harris acquisitions. This particular game right now, I come to you with 3:21 remaining in the first. The Celtics are up 17-13 as Gordon Hayward knocks in the three-pointer. So that's good to see him being aggressive for the Celtics, Hayward, as he recovers from a debilitating leg injury from last season in which he missed all but one game, and he only played 5 minutes in that first game of the season. Hayward's been working his way back into the rotation with the Celtics. Obviously, a huge free agent acquisition last year. He got $128 million over 4 years, so expectations were for him to be one of the premier players for this particular Brad Stevens rotation. But after the injury and seeing the team evolve the way that they did, him coming back into the fold definitely affected how they have played this season. It's affected the rhythms of young Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Marcus Smart to a lesser degree. So to see him coming off the bench now, it is an added improvement, but he still at times seems to be a liability on both sides. To knock in that three just now, to see him getting in the fold early in this game, it should be a good sign for the Celtics. If you're the Sixers, you have to figure out how to manage turnovers. Their last two victories against the Los Angeles Lakers, especially last Saturday, and then last Sunday, in which they defeated the Lakers 143-120. You look at how they performed in that game. The Lakers didn't match up with the Sixers at all, but the Sixers gave up 120 because they tended to turn over the ball a lot. And Ben Simmons struggled finishing at the rim. If the Sixers are going to be one of the premier teams that many people expect them to be, they have to figure out how to manage possessions well. Obviously, you have more weapons, so you're going to take more risks, especially on certain passes. Ben Simmons is one of the best passers in the NBA, but you got to manage possessions and finish at the rim, as I said with Ben Simmons, but also Joel Embiid. In this game, being guarded by Al Horford has been a struggle for him. He hasn't finished at the rim well today, and that's led to some easy opportunities for the Celtics. With that said, we have a timeout, so we'll be back. I'm Isaiah Rhodes. This is Ask Isaiah in-game analysis of the Philadelphia 76ers versus the Boston Celtics. So out of the timeout, the Sixers trail by 5, 20-15, 2:40 remaining in the first quarter. Into the game for the Sixers is T.J. McConnell, one of the best backup PGs in the game, especially for this rotation. I think a lot was put into Markel Fultz as being one of those facilitators off the bench, but I think for this Sixers team, especially as a balance to Ben Simmons. McCollum is scrappy, and his ability to just be really, really a pest on the defensive end and get into the paint offensively and set up easy offensive baskets is definitely an added plus for the Sixers. 23-17, the Sixers got a basket from Tobias Harris on the inside. Then Tice came back for the Celtics to knock in the three. Hayward with another three, right wing, knocks it down. So 2 threes for Gordon Hayward. The Sixers right now just aren't finishing at the basket. The Celtics, in turn, have come out and knocked in 3 3-pointers here in this first period. We got a defensive 3-second violation against the Celtics. So the Celtics are up 9. Redick knocks in the free throw. Into the game for the Celtics, Brad Wanamaker, as Embiid takes a 3, doesn't knock it down. Embiid's volume from 3 has definitely increased. He's a capable 3-point shooter, but I think considering the volume that he takes is not necessarily the best for the Sixers. He's extremely versatile, but at times he tends to settle for jump shots a bit too much. And when he does, it tends to come back to haunt the Sixers when it comes defensively. Down 10 now, Embiid tries to get a floater inside, and he's able to score and get fouled. So if he's going to the free throw line, where he shoots 80% on the year, so that is probably where, when you're Coach Brent Brown, you would love to see him beat on the block and utilize his immense skill, not only physically, but from a finesse standpoint, and allowing to use his touch around the rim. So he makes the free throw, completes the and-1. Sixers trail by 7, 28-21, 45 seconds remaining. Jaylen Brown guarded by Mike Scott. Scott played a great game against the Lakers on Sunday. Hit a couple of 3-point shots, which really surprised the Lakers defensively. So 18 seconds left, about a 3-second differential between shot clock and game clock. McConnell with the basketball, calling for a screen. Trying to get it to Embiid inside. Great pass to McConnell off the glass. The basket is good. So 3.7 left. Sixers trail by 5, 28-23. And Marcus Smart can't knock in the 3 at the buzzer. The Celtics definitely got off to a great start, knocking in multiple threes, 3 of 5 from 3-point land. Well, 3 of 6 after that 3-point shot from Marcus Smart. But when you look at what Keith Morris was able to do, he had 4 baskets in that first quarter. And defensively, they were able to defend Joel Embiid extremely well. Most of that was done by Al Horford with some weak side help from Jayson Tatum that allowed the Celtics to get out and run defensively and get a lot of easy baskets. Also, you saw some 3-pointers made from Hayward, which allowed that second unit for the Celtics to create more separation. With that said, Joel Embiid got more comfortable at the latter part of the quarter and cut the deficit to 5. So it's a 5-point game, 28-23. We'll be back for the second quarter. This is Ask Isaiah in-game analysis. Stay tuned. Welcome back as we start this second quarter. This is Ask Isaiah in-game NBA analysis, where the Boston Celtics lead the Philadelphia 76ers 28-23 as Jimmy Butler draws that foul. It'll count as he completed the and-1. It was a bit of a long continuation, but The Sixers will take it as Jimmy Butler is able to get on the board. 28-25 now. That foul goes against Al Horford. Butler this season with the Sixers has 15 games of 20 or more. So that's good to see. But his offensive output has been a bit inconsistent as of late. He's because the Sixers have more talent than probably what he's used to over the last couple of years, both with Minnesota and Chicago. He doesn't necessarily dominate the ball as much as he used to. But I think for what Philadelphia got him for initially was to be a closer down the stretch. And while he did start that way, especially with 2-game winners against the Brooklyn Nets and the Charlotte Hornets, that particular role hasn't really necessarily shown up on a consistent basis. The Sixers still have been winning, and he hasn't necessarily been complaining, but you could tell it hasn't been the easiest of transitions. Now with Tobias Harris, it seems like Harris is a bit more in the flow of what Philadelphia wants to do, and in Butler's role, especially with Harris, there's been more of a defensive stopper over the last couple of games, but he's always going to play defense and he's always going to try to contribute. So that's a good thing. To start this quarter, we've had a couple of three-point shots. McConnell hits a three, and then Gordon Hayward responds with the three. So Sixers down 4. And Korkmaz tried to get a right wing three. It doesn't fall. So Boston with the basketball up 4, 33-29. Al Horford is trapped by Embiid and McConnell. And Jaylen Brown cuts to the basket trying to get a crash in the paint basket over Jimmy Butler. He draws the foul, so Jaylen Brown will be going to the free throw line. First free throw for Brown is good. Brown on a year, averaging just under 13 points, shooting 45%. He's definitely one of the key cogs in their rotation, but with everybody, having to adjust with Hayward and Irving being back, he's been one of the players that have been a bit off kilter, so to say, in terms of just getting consistent touches. But with this Kyrie Irving recent injury, sprained knee against the Clippers, as T.J. McConnell scores on the drive baseline, we'll see how Tatum and Brown get back into the fold. Also, Terry Rozier. Let's see how they adjust to having to be called upon more often now. As Al Horford makes a jumper, so the Sixers trail by 5, 36-31. Embiid working the right corner, guarded by Horford. Embiid trying to draw a double team, gets it to McConnell. McConnell trying to get a floater inside, and it doesn't fall. As Mike Scott tried to deflect for offensive rebound, Horford gets it able to set up for Hayward inside off a dribble handoff. Couldn't get the shot to fall. Jimmy Butler gets the rebound on the fast break. Cut off by Hayward. Great defense there. Stop and pop three-point shot for Jimmy Butler is good, which is a rare sight for Jimmy Butler. He's not one for high-volume threes, but the Sixers definitely need more shooting, especially with Ben Simmons, who's a great facilitator, but not a great shooter at all. So you need as much shooting as possible for Ben Simmons throughout a game. And Tatum going right at Jimmy Butler for a bucket. That's great to see for Jayson Tatum, who's having a solid sophomore year, but it's probably not to the level that many expected, especially after his Game 7 performance against LeBron. Jimmy Butler tried to drive baseline and kick out to Furkan Korkmaz, and it is stolen by Hayward, but as Hayward went to go score, was deflected out by T.J. McConnell. He couldn't quite get the steal, but the Philly faithful is definitely appreciative of his effort. So 19 on the clock. The score is 38-34. 8:16 remaining here in this first half. So into the game for the Sixers, Jonathan Simmons and Ben Simmons coming as well as Boban. Great stop and pop jumper by Tatum. Boban gets that rebound out to J.J. Redick. Redick thought about a three, goes to Boban inside. Boban guarded by Tice. Tries to get a floater / pass. It's deflected by Brad Wanamaker. Tatum tries to get inside to Tice off the backboard. Miscommunication between Tatum and Tice. At the rim, Ben Simmons tried to spin off of Jaylen Brown, but it's deflected out of bounds. So possession will stay with the Sixers. But a bit out of control on both sides offensively. Both teams high turnovers right now. Obviously, the Sixers, one of the high turnover teams in the league, already has 6 turnovers, but Boston has 3 turnovers. Simmons trying to attack Tice, gets it to Simmons, inside floater is good. That's a good sign to see for Ben Simmons, who struggled at the rim against the Lakers on Sunday. And Simmons almost had that steal, tried to leak out along the way with J.J. Redick, and they messed up the defensive rotations there. But the Sixers do get a stop as Ben Simmons gets the basketball. J.J. Redick thought about a 3, stops, takes a screen from Simmons, doesn't get it to fall. So it's a 2-point game, 38-36, 7 minutes remaining in the half. Wanamaker for 3, left wing, doesn't fall. Simmons guarded by Wanamaker. A bit out of control, takes a foul from Wanamaker, but for Ben Simmons, his offensive game has to improve in terms of scoring. With his size at 6'10", he's a great passer. That's his ultimate skill. But I think because of his lack of shooting, he has to figure out other ways to score. If you look at how he scores at the rim, the majority of his points come at the rim, but he has no touch around the rim on a consistent basis. He just made a floater off of an assist from Simmons, but his post game is very elementary. He doesn't necessarily have the best footwork, and considering his size and height, he doesn't necessarily have the strongest base in the post, which allows for people to get him off his positioning. And when they push him further away from the basket, now he's not able to utilize his finishing ability. So I think he has to improve in the post first and foremost before we even worry about him being the next LeBron. People say he's a jump shot away from being LeBron James. I think that's a disservice both to Simmons and James. James is a much better scorer than Simmons probably ever will be, but especially at this stage in his career. In year 1, LeBron was already averaging 21 points per game. In year 2, he was averaging 27 points per game. Now, obviously, because of the size and the facilitating ability, there's going to be comparisons in terms of how they pass. But I think to characterize a player as the next LeBron is a disservice to both, because Simmons is not the scorer LeBron is. And LeBron, I don't want to say he isn't Ben Simmons in terms of passing, but he doesn't rely solely on passing the way that Simmons does. Simmons is a pass first, second, and third. And then when he has opportunities to score, driving down the lane or getting a quick slam, he'll do that as well. So I think for right now, where Simmons needs to truly focus on, especially offensively, needs to be in the post and working on his touch around the rim. You're not always going to be able to get slams, but you can get baby hooks first, just to get a gauge of where your touch is throughout a game. And after that, focus on getting over 70% at the free throw line. We'll see how that goes. But right now, we have a timeout, so we'll be back. This is Ask Isaiah in-game NBA analysis. Stay tuned. Out of that timeout, the Sixers come away with a J.J. Redick right wing 3 to give the Sixers the lead 39-38 with 6:28 remaining. Tice dribble handoff to Tatum. Step back jumper over Boban is good. So great response there from Tatum. And I think offensively, considering his potential and what he's able to do with his offensive package, those particular shots should be coming at a premium now that Kyrie Irving is going to be day to day with a knee sprain. And as I say that on cue, he comes away with a great steal playing the passing lane. Tried to get a catch and shoot for Brown, but the Sixers are able to cut it off. Morris tries to set up a shot for Tice. He kicks it out to Smart. Smart misses a three. So it's a 1-point game, and miscommunication between Tobias Harris and J.J. Redick. J.J. Redick expected Harris to dive to the rim. Harris went straight to the corner for three, so it sailed out of bounds. So it's a 1-point game, 5:38 remaining. In the post, Tatum guarded by Ben Simmons. Now, Simmons won Rookie of the Year last year. Tatum came in third. He misses the jumper as Boban gets that rebound, able to get it to his partner in crime, Tobias Harris, who's been with them on his last three destinations, whether it be the Pistons, Clippers, and now the Sixers. J.J. Redick to Ben off the glass. Ben draws the foul, but he doesn't finish the layup. Now, obviously, it's contact, so the defense doesn't want to give up an easy basket. But I feel like considering the momentum that Simmons generated going to the rim, his size, and how in the proximity he was between the rim and the defender, he should have finished that. Now, he doesn't finish, but he's going to have to make 2 free throws, an area which he's not the best. The first free throw rims out and goes in, so the game is tied at 40. But on the season, Simmons is shooting 58% for the free throw line. I just said recently that the goal should be to get over 70, but I feel the inconsistencies right now with his form, as the second free throw misses badly, it goes off the back rim. The inconsistencies with his form and the lack of getting to the free throw line a lot affects how he's going to consistently make these free throws. Great backdoor cut there by Jayson Tatum as he scores. So it's a 2-point game. Celtics up 2, 42-40. Redick for three. Can't get it to fall, but Jimmy Butler comes skying in for the putback slam, right hand variety. So that gets the Philadelphia crowd on his feet. Game tied at 42. Morris guarded by Harris. Morris attacking, able to draw a foul. They say it's on the floor, so it won't be in the shooting motion. And Jimmy Butler comes skying in for that putback. .14 on the shot clock. 4:21 remaining in the half. Tatum guarded by Embiid. Both these players worked out together one-on-one in the offseason. Tatum misses the jumper. So great closeout there by Joel Embiid. Embiid at the rim tried to catch that over Horford. He probably should have went to slam that down off an alley instead of coming back down. I think coming back down to the floor makes it easier for Horford, who's obviously only 6'10" compared to Embiid 7'2". But Horford is great with his hands. Off the spin, Embiid can't finish over Horford. It'll be a 4-on-5. Smart thought about a three. He goes to Horford inside. Great defense by Jimmy Butler. Harris is also there. And Horford scores. But great defense by Harris and Butler to make it very difficult on Horford on that initial finish. Simmons tried to get a pass off to JJ. JJ looking for Harris. Harris on the left wing guarded by Morris. Has to get a shot off. He does. Game is tied at 44. So it'll be a timeout by Brad Stevens. He doesn't necessarily like the defense he just saw, but it might be cause for a review on that shot. It could have been in his hands right as the buzzer was going off, so they'll probably review it during this break. So we'll be back. This is Ask Isaiah in-game NBA analysis, where the Philadelphia 76ers and Boston Celtics at the moment are tied at 44. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Ask Isaiah in-game NBA analysis. Game tied at 44. And out of that timeout, the Sixers are trying to generate some momentum as Embiid gets the rebound. They went into the second quarter trailing by 5, 28-23. The Celtics have done a great job on Joel Embiid. Embiid's only 2 of 7 so far as he takes a right wing three and it rims out. Fighting for that rebound is Ben Simmons. And they say the possession will go to the Celtics. They have been able to crash inside on every post pass, making it very difficult for Embiid as he tries to spin baseline going against Al Horford. Al Horford is not giving any ground. And then on top of that, they haven't given Embiid much free throws to get in the rhythm. And Morris with a great move can't finish the jumper. Ben Simmons with the rebound, trying to get it to Jimmy Butler. Butler inside with the floater, can't finish. Joel Embiid tries to get the rebound, can't get it. Terry Rozier comes out with the basketball to Morris, left wing three, good. So Celtics go up by 3, 47-44. Simmons trying to get inside to Redick, and Redick steps out of bounds, trying to gather for the 3. So that'll be a turnover for the Sixers. 147 remaining. This game, tit for tat right now. Both teams jockeying for position in the Eastern Conference. Right now, based off the trades that were just made at the trade deadline, the Sixers look to be at the forefront of the conference, along with Milwaukee, who made some trades as well. As Embiid able to get a rebound off of a Tatum miss. But the Celtics, as Harris misses a 3, we get a loose ball foul under the rim called against Simmons. But this Celtics team going into the season looked to be at the forefront of the conference. But with everything that's happened, especially with Giannis Antetokounmpo taking the strides that he's made as an individual player, and Mike Budenholzer becoming the head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks, it is taking the Bucks to the top tier of the league at this point. Top 3 in both offensive rating and defensive rating. You got Giannis Antetokounmpo, front runner for MVP candidate. Then you have the balance of Brogdon and Chris Middleton and others contributing at a high level. You get the Celtics, who have the best record in the NBA. Then you have a Toronto team who, despite dealing with many injuries to Kawhi Leonard and Kyle Lowry, are second in the East. So these two teams here, the Celtics and the Sixers, have to keep pace as J.J. Redick looked to get a pass inside to Embiid, but it is a turnover, and Tatum scores. So back-to-back turnovers for the Sixers give the Celtics 5 quick points. 8 quick points. So now that's 3 turnovers. So they get 8 points off of 3 turnovers from Philly. Now the Celtics lead 52-44. 37 seconds left in the quarter. Simmons with the basketball. Top of the key, looking for J.J. Redick. Goes to Jimmy Butler. Inside to Embiid. Guarded by Horford. Embiid, fadeaway jumper, good. So 2-possession game now, 52-46. That's only Embiid's 3rd field goal here in his first half. So the Celtics have done an exceptional job on Joel Embiid, making it very difficult for him, and in turn making it difficult on the Sixers offense. It's about a second differential between shot clock and game clock. It'll be Sixers ball as Terry Rozier tried to drive on J.J. Redick. Great defense from J.J. Redick one-on-one to give the Sixers another possession, the last possession potentially of the game. 6.2 left in the first half. They'll have to go full court as Joel Embiid will inbound to finally get the inbound to Ben Simmons as he lets the ball roll at half. He'll get the ball trying to get downhill. Embiid for three, top of the key. It rims out. So Embiid can't believe the ball didn't go in. It was a great setup, especially when you consider the time that they had. But Embiid is just struggling from the field here in his first half. I mentioned Boston's great defense on him, and they've been able to get balanced scoring. Jayson Tatum and Morris have really carried the offense from a consistent basis. But you look at the defense from Horford, who's also poured in a couple of assists as well. Jaylen Brown scored. Then you get defensive contributions from Smart as well. So the Celtics have been able to create some separation. They outscored the Sixers by 5 in the first quarter and outscored them by 1 in the second quarter. So they go into the half up 6. The Sixers have struggled from 3, and they struggle with managing the basketball. Many turnovers, which have allowed the Celtics to get out of the run and get easy baskets, and that's why we have the score we have. So we'll be back during this 15-minute intermission. We'll have more. This is Ask Isaiah in-game NBA analysis. This is the Philadelphia 76ers versus the Boston Celtics. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Ask Isaiah in-game NBA analysis. The Boston Celtics and Philadelphia 76ers are going to war right now. It's a 4-point game as Jimmy Butler comes out of the half with a jumper. It's 52-48. Jayson Tatum misses the jumper there, but Boston has played exceptionally well, especially forcing Philadelphia to shoot bad from the field. Well, specifically with Redick, Embiid, and Simmons, they're shooting 5 of 17. So collectively from them three, though, they aren't shooting well. As a team, they're shooting 46%. But they forced Philadelphia into 10 turnovers, which has allowed them to get out and run and get easy baskets. To start the second half, though, the Sixers are able to get out and run and get some easy buckets on their end. So back-to-back baskets from them. You get one from Jimmy Butler and one from Tobias Harris. So the Sixers trail by 2. Boston, who's had to play this game without premier playmaker Kyrie Irving, they've been able to get balanced scoring from Jayson Tatum, Marquise Morris, Al Horford, and also Gordon Hayward. Leading scorer for them is Morris. Morris has 11. Marquise Morris plays for the Pelicans. Harris tried to get a kick out to Embiid. Embiid trying to get it inside to Simmons. Simmons at the rim. The basket is good. The pass wasn't as clean as probably Simmons or Embiid would have liked, but it got through, and the game is tied at 52. So the Sixers start the quarter on a 6-0 run. Defensively, they've been able to get some stops. Tatum trying to go one-on-one on Harris. Instead goes to Morris. The jumper is no good, rebounded by Embiid. Redick for 3, top of the key, is good. So Philadelphia comes out of the half with a 9-0 run. 55-52, the Sixers lead the Celtics, 9:31 remaining. Brad Stevens calls a timeout. So we'll be back. This is Ask Isaiah in-game NBA analysis. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Ask Isaiah in-game NBA analysis. The Philadelphia 76ers start the second half with a 9-0 run. They lead the Celtics by 3 as Marcus Smart finishes at the rim. It's 55-54, 9:13 remaining. Simmons gets it to Embiid. Embiid gets it to JJ. JJ gets it to Jimmy Butler, left corner, guarded by Terry Rozier. Great defense by Rozier. At the rim, takes contact. Jimmy can't get the shot to fall. So on the break, Smart gets it from Rozier. He gets it to Al Horford, who drives and draws a foul on Joel Embiid. That was great defense there by Terry Rozier guarding Jimmy Butler, making it very difficult for Butler to get a clean shot in the post. Rozier goes to Morris. Morris had an exceptional first half. Shoots it over to Tobias Harris. That bucket doesn't fall. So 55-54, Sixers with the lead. Simmons at the rim with the slam. So right-hand slam from Ben Simmons should get him going offensively. The crowd is starting to pick up their energy. It's 8:20 remaining. Philadelphia up by 3. They've been able to lock in defensively. Embiid guarding Al Horford right corner. Goes into the paint. That basket can't fall. Getting the rebound has been difficult in some cases for the Sixers. So the Celtics get the reload. Driving baseline is Horford. He gets it to Tatum. Great spin move by Tatum and slams it down on Ben Simmons. Oh man, this is definitely panning out to be a marquee game. Jimmy Butler draws a foul on the baseline, but if you could just imagine Al Horford driving baseline and kick it to Tatum in traffic, he spins off with one hand. He doesn't even go opposite hands and slams right over Ben Simmons. I'm glad the referee didn't call a foul there. So 57-56, Sixers lead the Celtics. J.J. Redick, this is Jimmy Butler. They're working around the key. Tobias Harris, guarded by Rozier. Inside looking for Simmons. Off the glass, the layup is good for Ben Simmons. So back-to-back baskets from Simmons in the paint, no less. The Sixers lead by 3. We approach 7 minutes remaining in the third. Smart kicks it to Horford to tie the game. Top of the key, the 3 doesn't fall. J.J. Redick for 3. And it rattles in. So we got a 2-possession game for the Sixers, 62-56. Smart blocked by Embiid. Great defense there by Embiid to not only attempt to block Smart shot. As Harris skies to the rim, he misses the layup, but off a great find from Ben Simmons. Crossover dribble by Tatum and blocked by Jimmy Butler. Foul by Jimmy Butler to stop the easy transition. Hayward back into the game. Gets it to Horford. Horford misses an easy layup. Great defense there by Boban. He gets it to Harris for Con Korkmaz into the game as well. Let's see how this Sixers second unit is able to thrive. The Sixers right now on the 18-4 run. Turn that around and add on another 2. So it's a 20-4 run right now. 64-56. Smart thought about a 3, instead goes to Horford. And he's able to get a sky hook over Boban. Great attack there. Sixers up by 6, 64-50. Excuse me, 64-58. Harris guarded by Morris. The 3-point shot doesn't fall. Morris able to get that rebound, and Boban picks up the foul. Hayward, great pull-up jumper there, and it falls. And Hayward had a couple of 3-point shots to start the game for him to get him in a rhythm. So it's good to see him in a good flow as Simmons looks to attack and draws the foul on Smart. That's Smart's 3rd foul. So Simmons will get to the free throw line. Jonathan Simmons is a great athlete. His story in and of itself is a great one and shows one of great perseverance and belief in self. He actually had he's from uh he came out of the University of Houston. He paid for a tryout for the G League team. He actually made the team and made his way up the ranks and got on the Spurs and showcased his ability for the Spurs over a couple of years. Great athleticism, not afraid to defend the team's best player as well. And he actually parlayed that into a contract with the Orlando Magic, and he uh, played there very well considering the circumstances. The team wasn't the best, so to see him in another position where he can contribute to another playoff team, I think this is a great addition for Philadelphia, and it adds depth to their bench right now. Simmons made both free throws. Gordon Hayward comes back and looks to make his free throws. So right now, Philadelphia in the penalty, it's 66-61. Sixers lead the Celtics. 5:11 remaining in the third. Simmons looking to go baseline on Hayward. He goes to Harris, guarded by Smart. Smart, great defense in the post. Harris, fadeaway jumper, doesn't fall. Big rebound there by Tatum. Tatum looks to start the break. Looking for Tice, and Tice skies for a slam. So we got a quick run by the Celtics to get them within 2 points, 66-64, the 76ers lead. This game itself has taken on a playoff feel as both teams are jockeying for position in the standings right now. The Sixers are battling to get to 3. The Pacers, despite dealing with Victor Oladipo's injury, still maintain that third spot as Harris tried to drive baseline and get it to Boban, but it was deflected out of bounds. Great vision there from Tatum to get that pass to Tice. And that's something that Tatum needs to develop more as his offensive game becomes more prolific. He's going to be asked to be a facilitator and create for others. So it's good to see that on the break. We have a blocking foul against Smart, so that'll be his 4th foul. He doesn't believe it. As you look at the attack from Simmons going left, Smart tried to beat him to the spot, but it wasn't quite on time. So the shot clock resets to 14. Simmons with the basketball gets it to Harris. Great deflection by Brown. Harris going inside the Boban. Contact by Tice, and we have a 3-second violation against Boban. So Celtics look to tie or take the lead with 4:03 remaining in the third. Tice gets it to Brown. Brown, 10 on the clock, floater inside, can't get it to fall. Boban with the rebound, and he's fouled by Jaylen Brown. That's Boston's 4th personal foul, 4th team foul. So one more foul, and they'll be in a penalty. 3:45 remaining. Right now, the Sixers have outscored the Celtics by 8 points, and they got it started with a couple of easy baskets from Ben Simmons, and then you get a bucket from Jimmy Butler, and the ball just started to roll. As Boban looking to get a pass inside, we got a foul in the paint. That'll be against Tatum, which at this point in his career isn't necessarily a bad foul for Tatum because Simmons isn't a good free throw shooter. But these are the moments where we'll see how Simmons will impact a game of this magnitude in a playoff setting. He misses the first free throw. I'm quite surprised that teams don't necessarily hack a Ben as much because of his free throw shooting, but I think he has shown that at times he can get in a groove and hit maybe 7 out of 10. So teams are a little wary about when they want to do that with him. But I think going down the stretch of certain games, certain marquee games, we might see teams start to do that more often this year. Simmons misses both free throws, so the Sixers still cling to a 2-point lead, 66-64. J.J. Redick and Embiid come back into the game for the Sixers along with Jimmy Butler. And Smart for three, left wing, can't get it to fall. And one of the things about Smart's game is he's very confident in his game. He doesn't shy away from certain shots, but at times it can be feast or famine. There's another turnover for Embiid. He hasn't been on his game today. Embiid tries to Euro step inside, takes contact, can't get the floater to fall, but it wasn't necessarily a quality shot as Hayward for three, left wing, gets it to fall. So the Celtics have come back and responded with their own run. They take a 1-point lead, 2:54 remaining. The Sixers have got to get a handle on these turnovers right now. We'll be back. This is Ask Isaiah in-game NBA analysis where the Celtics lead the Philadelphia 76ers 67-66. Welcome back to Ask Isaiah in-game NBA analysis. These Philadelphia 76ers and Boston Celtics are going back and forth. There's 2:45 remaining in the third period. Celtics lead by 1, 67-66. Tobias Harris at the rim trying to score. He draws a foul. So great aggression out of that timeout there. Ball movement allows Tobias to get the defense off balance, drive baseline, and draw a foul on Jaylen Brown. Harris' first free throw is good. As we look at both teams standings-wise, I mentioned Philadelphia trying to get that 3 spot against Indiana. Indiana right now, a game and a half ahead of Philadelphia, and Boston is a game behind the 76ers. So this particular game, especially with the Celtics winning the first 2 games between both teams in the season series, this will impact whether the Celtics will be the 4th seed or the 5th seed after this particular game. You don't want to get in any tiebreaker situations if you lose a season series. So right now, with Harris making both free throws, Sixers are by 1, but Marcus Morris will be going to the free throw line where he has 11 points so far, 8 rebounds, 5 of 11 from the floor. So game is tied at 68. Both teams in the penalty going forward the rest of the way here in this third period. Morris up by 1. Morris makes both free throws, put the Celtics up 1, 69-68. Redick looking to set up for Butler. They go to Embiid. Mid-range jumper for Embiid doesn't fall. So Embiid right now, especially coming off a great game against the Lakers, is completely struggling. Against the Lakers, he had 37 points and 14 rebounds. And now Horford comes back and hits a 3 in his eye. So Celtics have responded. They're up by 4, and they're cutting into the deficit in terms of individual quarter. The Sixers have been outscoring them by 9 in the quarter to build such a lead. But now the Celtics only trail by 2 in the quarter and have a 4-point lead overall in the game. Hayward trying to score on Embiid. He draws the foul, so that was great aggression there by Gordon Hayward. And Embiid tonight just hasn't been his normal self. His offensive game has completely been a detriment to the Sixers tonight. He hasn't finished at the rim well. And this is a testament to Al Horford. This is not against Embiid, who's been a spectacular offensive player, overall player throughout the year. But his game is a far cry from what we saw against the Lakers on Sunday. 37 points, 14 rebounds, 2 blocks. Tonight, he's been struggling from the floor. He hasn't really caught a rhythm. He hasn't really gotten to the free throw line. And then in turn, he's been a bit off balance and turning over the basketball. So right now, the Celtics lead by 6, 74-68, 140 remaining in the third period. TJ McConnell into the game, 130 remaining in the third period. McConnell has to get a shot off. He does, and he's able to score. So he has a great idea of spacing, especially playing off the defender. The defender was riding his back. He was able to utilize the defender's momentum to create space of his own for a quick step back, but not too far away from that mid-range area in the paint. And Smart misses a three bad, but it works to the Celtics' advantages. It falls right into the hands of Gordon Hayward, and he's able to kick it out to Al Horford for a wide open three. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. J.J. Redick looking to respond. Gives it to Embiid, top of the key. Gets a dribble handoff to Jimmy Butler at the rim. Takes contact. He doesn't get the score, but he'll be going to the free throw line for two. So that was a great bad miss for the Celtics on that Smart three. I mean, it missed so bad off the side of the backboard. It went right into Gordon Hayward's hand. He turns it around and sees Al Horford wide open for a three, and he knocks it down. Jimmy Butler makes the first free throw, so right now he has 13 points. He's shooting 50% from the floor, 5 of 10. Both free throws good for Jimmy Butler, so it's a 5-point game, 77-72. Terry Rozier into the game for the Celtics. Morris looking to set up. They get it to Rozier. Pull-up jumper is no good, rebounded by Embiid. So it's about a 5-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Rozier. Excuse me. That was Morris who gets the deflection on McConnell. Blocked by Embiid. And that goes off of a Celtic. So that was great recovery by Embiid, who wasn't in position to catch that bounce pass from T.J. McConnell. But he responds defensively and gets a block on a chase down against Jaylen Brown. So that saves a score for the Sixers. And it's a 5-point game. Sixers have an opportunity to draw closer going into the fourth quarter. Jimmy Butler with 6 on the clock, looking to get a shot off, 3 on the clock, attacks the paint. At the rim, he scores at the buzzer. So that's a big basket for Jimmy Butler. 3-point game. The Celtics lead the Sixers. Going into the half, the Celtics led by 6. But now the Sixers cut into the deficit by 3 in the third period. It's a 77-74 game going into the fourth quarter. This is the Ask Isaiah in-game analysis of the Philadelphia 76ers versus the Boston Celtics. Welcome back to Ask Isaiah in-game NBA analysis. The Celtics and Sixers have been going at it back and forth. Right now, it's a 77-74 lead. And as I say that, Jaylen Brown got an and-one opportunity. Great off-the-ball movement there from Brown to get set up by Al Horford as J.J. Redick completely lost track of where Jaylen Brown is. And Brown was able to get the basket as they say the foul is on the floor. Brad Stevens can't believe that. In a different time, that would be considered an and-one there. But that saves Philadelphia some points there defensively. So it's 77-74 as Gordon Hayward into the game. Pull-up jumper for Hayward is good. So Hayward's in a great rhythm right now. It's a 5-point game for the Celtics, 79-74. Jimmy Butler, guarded by Morris. They look to set up Embiid inside. Instead goes to Mike Scott. Embiid with 5 on the clock gets it to J.J. Redick. J.J. looking for a 3, draws a foul. So he'll be going to the free throw line. That wasn't the best defensive discipline there by Jaylen Brown. J.J. Redick on the season shooting 91%. Has 11 points tonight, 3 of 5 from 3. Both free throws made from J.J. Redick, so it's a 3-point game, 79-76. Jaylen Brown guarded by J.J. Redick. One leg fadeaway Dirk Nowitzki style is good for Jaylen Brown. J.J. Redick, jumper, no good. Rebounded by Al Horford. And Horford able to grab the rebound and push the pace. Rozier had a stop and pop jumper there. But they go for the mismatch with Horford. Inside, great pass once again for Morris from Horford. So it's a 7-point game now, 83-76, 10:39 remaining. Al Horford has showcased great playmaking ability here in his fourth quarter to create more separation for the Celtics. Timeout by Brent Brown. We'll be back. Ask Isaiah in-game NBA analysis. So out of that timeout, the Celtics making a quick run to create more separation. They're up by 7 now, and T.J. McConnell misses a mid-range jumper in the paint. It rims in and out, actually. So now the Celtics look to build on the 7-point lead. Hayward, who's been playing great here in this game. Fadeaway jumper is no good. McConnell trying to get inside, kicks out to Embiid. Straightaway three is good. Big time three for Embiid. At this point in the game, he's been playing really, really bad offensively, but big time players make big time plays when the game is on the line. So it's a 4-point game, 83-79. Hayward gets it to Rozier. Rozier looks to drive on Embiid. He's able to score over the outstretched arms of Embiid. 6-point game, 85-79. Again, Embiid trying to drive on Horford, spins, kicks it to Jonathan Simmons. Embiid, fadeaway jumper is good. So back-to-back baskets from Embiid, and he might be waking up here in his fourth quarter. 85-81 as we approach 9 minutes remaining. Jaylen Brown guarded by Mike Scott, trying to go inside to Morris. Great seal by Morris on McConnell to get that easy pass inside. McConnell looking to set up Embiid. Embiid just hit 2 back-to-back baskets, one of the 3-point variety. Jimmy Butler working at right wing, guarded by Morris. Kicks it to Embiid, straightaway 3. Back rim, no good. Rozier with that rebound. So that 3 was more so a heat check. Rozier looking to split defenders, draws a foul on Embiid. Hayward playing an exceptional game today. So far with him on the floor, the Celtics are plus 18, and with him off the floor, they're minus 12. Hayward for 3, big time 3 for Gordon Hayward. So really, at this point in the game, he's creating the separation that we see right now. It's a 9-point game, 90-81. Inside Simmons kicks out. They're working around the perimeter. Simmons for 3, looking to respond. Big time 3 for Jonathan Simmons. So it's a 6-point game. Way to respond for Simmons. If you're the Celtics right now, you just keep riding that hot hand, which is Hayward, which is probably one of his best games of the year. Great kick out to Jaylen Brown, attacking Embiid, and he's able to score. Embiid thought he got hit in the face there. The ref didn't call that either way. So if you're the Celtics and the Sixers, you accept it because you don't want to see Embiid draw any fouls. Simmons inside, great floater. So right now the Sixers are keeping pace with the Celtics considering the halftime score, but the Celtics have taken control of the game at the latter part of that third quarter. Rozier for 3, rims out, rebounded by Embiid. So we approach 7 minutes remaining. J.J. Redick dribble handoff from Ben Simmons. Embiid for 3, big time 3 from Joel Embiid. It's a 3-point game, 92-89, 7:01 remaining. Joel Embiid is starting to wake up here in the fourth, and the Philadelphia faithful are letting them know it. So we'll be back. This is Ask Isaiah in-game NBA analysis. Stay tuned. 92-89, Celtics lead the Sixers. Welcome back to Ask Isaiah in-game NBA analysis. We are here in the fourth quarter where the Boston Celtics lead the Philadelphia 76ers with 6:58 remaining, 92-89. And Joel Embiid has come on strong here in this fourth quarter where he's scored 8 of his 13 points. Jayson Tatum had it deflected by Ben Simmons with 6 on the clock for the Celtics. Marcus Smart has to get a shot up. 3 on the clock at the rim, and we have a foul against J.J. Redick. They saw Smart attacking Redick. It looked to be a jump ball there. No, it was. I would say it's a foul. It was easily contact on both sides as Smart initiated the contact. It'll be a technical foul against the Sixers. Tatum makes the first free throw at this junction of the game. You don't want to give up any free points. And J.J. Redick, out of frustration from the foul, throws the ball in the air. So they called a technical foul on that. But I don't think they. It is what it is. Smart misses that free throw, so that technical foul free throw from Tatum, it was very necessary considering. It's a 4-point game, 93-89. Smart at the free throw line for the second free throw. It is good. So the Celtics lead by 5, 94-89. They're able to salvage 2 points out of that possession. Simmons looked to go to J.J. Redick. 3-point shot from Redick. Good. Big time 3 from J.J. Redick. So it's a 2-point game, 94-92. 6:20 remaining. Daniel Tice with the basketball. Gets it to Jaylen Brown. Attacking, kicks it to Tatum, who bats it to Smart. He misses the 3, rebounded by Jimmy Butler. It's feast or famine with Smart on the 3-point line. Jimmy Butler left wing 3. He's fouled. He's fouled by Marcus Smart. So not only does Smart miss the 3, but he fouled Jimmy Butler on the 3. And I think Jimmy Butler, understanding the momentum of the moment, pulled up from that 3. He uses Smart's momentum against him, and he'll be going to the free throw line for 3 free throws. Big time defensive stop there by the Sixers to come back and have an opportunity to get 3 free throws. But Jimmy Butler misses the first free throw, and this is usually a surefire free throw shooter here. So, yeah. Jimmy makes the second free throw. The third free throw is good. So the game is tied at 94. 6:02 remaining. Sixers and the Celtics have gone back and forth here. Jaylen Brown trying to go to Smart in the post on J.J. Redick. Joel Embiid is there. They're working around the perimeter to Tatum. Straightaway 3 is good. So Jayson Tatum coming up huge here in this fourth period. 97-94, Celtics lead the Sixers. Ben Simmons in the post, guarded by Tatum. Trying to get a bucket is Simmons, and they call for the travel. Now, if you go back to my analysis a little early in the game, I spoke about Simmons having to get better in the post. I feel like a lot of his game is very basic, and it becomes at times a little, I would say, easier to guard him when he posts up. As great of a passer as he is, and his size and strength that he utilizes, his offensive game is not necessarily the best. Now, you got back-to-back 3s by the Celtics to open up this lead to a 6-point game. 100-94. Terry Rozier just knocked down a huge 3-pointer with 5:17 remaining in the fourth period. The Celtics look to be taking control. 5:15 remaining in the fourth. Celtics lead the Sixers 100-94. They got back-to-back 3s from Jayson Tatum and Terry Rozier to open up this lead. JJ Redick trapped by Tice and Smart. Gets it to Embiid, 6 on the clock. Embiid to Harris. Left wing 3, no good. Good shot considering the situation, but Celtics get the stop they need with the 2-possession lead. And they're abusing JJ Redick on the switch right now. Smart with the basketball. Well, Redick made it very difficult. Smart for 3, no good. Rebounded by Harris. Simmons to Redick for 3. Redick, no good. Rebounded by Jimmy Butler, and he draws a foul. So big time effort there from Jimmy Butler on the baseline. If you're the Celtics, every time Marcus Smart takes a 3, you hold your breath. It's feast or famine with this guy, and I feel like as good as he is, especially with mismatches in the post with JJ Redick, you kind of want to bait him into 3s if you're the Sixers. If you're the Celtics, you want to utilize his playmaking ability out of the post, which has opened up multiple opportunities for Tatum and Rozier most recently. So it's at his discretion at times, but you don't want him necessarily taking 3s. 9 on the clock, Sixers with the basketball. Simmons at the rim, floater is good. So 2-possession game, 196. The Celtics lead the 76ers. Gordon Hayward into the game. He's been playing exceptionally well. Hayward guarded by Embiid, and they call a foul on Joel Embiid. To the crowd's chagrin, they don't agree with the call. 3:56 remaining. That's Philadelphia's 4th team foul. Smart cut off by Embiid. Jimmy Butler, great deflection there. So we have 4 on the shot clock. Smart has to set up for a shot. Step back jumper over Jimmy Butler, no good. Rebounded by Ben Simmons. Simmons pushing the break. He gets into the secondary break. Gets it to Embiid. Straight away 3. No good. Embiid made 2 3-pointers to start this 4th quarter, but he misses a key one there. So 3:25 remaining in the 4th. Jayson Tatum, who's come up huge here in this game. Step back jumper is good. 3:17 remaining. Celtics lead by 2 possessions, 102-96. Harris at the rim, trying to get a pass to Embiid. Embiid saves and draws a foul on Gordon Hayward. Quite a bailout foul there, because if you're the Celtics, you prepare for that steal. Embiid, inside contact, he'll get in, and they don't call a foul. Embiid was looking for an and 1, but it's a 4-point game, 102-98. Joel tonight, 7 of 18 from the floor, 18 points, another 3 for Smart, and another miss for Smart. So if you're the Sixers, that's great defense. Inside, Ben Simmons looking for Embiid. They get it to Jimmy Butler on the right wing. Looking to drop baseline, takes contact, gets it to JJ Redick. The 3-point shot, in and out, no good. Put back by Ben Simmons is good and 1. Big time bucket for Ben Simmons with 2:22 remaining. It's a 2-point game, looking to complete the and 1. JJ Redick got a solid shot, couldn't get it to fall, but Ben Simmons was there for the putback. And this is the type of playoff atmosphere that everybody's anticipating once the postseason gets here. Both teams fighting for and jockeying for position 4th and 5th in the standings. But with the Celtics having the season series so far, the Sixers do not want to lose this game. Simmons tonight, 16 points. The free throw is no good. With the rebound, it goes off of Horford's hands, and the Sixers get the rebound to Harris. So the Sixers get possession, 8 on the clock, inside to Joel Embiid, 2-point game. Embiid, off the glass, good and 1. Joel Embiid, big basket. Game is tied 102-102. 2:11 remaining. Joel Embiid will be going to the free throw line to give the Philadelphia 76ers a lead. Big time contact from Al Horford. Looked to beat Embiid to the spot. Embiid tonight, 20 points, 8 of 20 from the floor, but 15 points here in this fourth quarter. Embiid with the free throw is good. So the 76ers have a 1-point lead, 2:11 remaining in this fourth period. Sixers over the last 1 minute and 7 seconds have a 7-0 run. Horford gets it to Morris. Morris has been quite quiet here in this fourth quarter. Morris gets it to Hayward. Corner three from Hayward is good. So 2-point game, big time three for Gordon Hayward. Simmons working the left wing, gets it to Harris. Straightaway three from Harris. In and out, no good. Big rebound from Tatum. And that would have been a big response from Harris, who's played good in his 2 games with Philly, both against the Nuggets and the Lakers. So 2-point game for the Celtics. 1:27 remaining, and we have they call a foul here. Got to see what that foul is against. Great drive by Morris as Butler left Tatum in that corner. So Smart at the free throw line. First free throw is good. So that foul is a bit costly here because if he makes this free throw to be a 2-possession game, 106-103 right now, 1:27 remaining in the fourth. Smart misses the free throw, and Simmons almost had that rebound go out of bounds. Embiid with the basketball, trying to get a dribble handoff to Jimmy Butler. Straightaway three from Butler. He draws the foul. So Jimmy Butler will be going to the free throw line to tie this game. That foul goes against Jayson Tatum. So Jimmy Butler's drawn 2 fouls on 3-point opportunities, one against Marcus Smart and one against Tatum. Butler first free throw is no good. So this is the second time where Butler's drawn fouls on 3-point opportunities and missed the first free throw. Second free throw is good. So it's a 2-point game. That free throw proved to be a bit costly here because at this point in the game, you don't want to surrender any points. Regardless if he makes this free throw or not, the Celtics will be up with 1:14 remaining. He misses 2 out of 3 at the line, and Butler on the season shooting 83%. So those free throws proved to be costly. 106-104, Celtics lead the Sixers. Hayward gets it to Horford. Great ball movement. Back to Horford, deflected out of bounds by Simmons. It goes off of Morris. So they say 76er basketball. Great ball movement, but they said it didn't go off of Simmons, so that'll be 76er basketball. Celtics will call a timeout, but I think the refs will review this. It's 55.3 seconds remaining. Got to look at. And as I said, I thought it initially went off of Simmons, but from that angle, it doesn't look like he touched it there. So we got to see what they do. The refs initially called 76er basketball. We'll see how the trajectory affects where this is going. Depending on the angle the refs look at it, it looks at times as if Simmons didn't touch it, and then it looks as if he did just by a smidge. Right, so right. So it'll be 76er basketball, 55.3 seconds remaining. 76ers have had opportunities to tie this game. Most recently, you had a Jimmy Butler opportunity at the free throw line where he missed 2 out of 3 free throws. So obviously with this game, obviously being high intensity, understanding the magnitude of the matchup, not just at this moment, but going forward in the playoffs, fatigue is definitely kicking in. But you want to win these type of games if you're the Celtics and the Sixers to prove a point. Butler with the basketball, 48 seconds left, 15 on the shot clock. Butler gets it to Harris. Harris with the basketball, 9 on the clock, gets it to Embiid, 6 on the clock. Embiid, 4 on the clock, looking to draw a foul, no call. And Embiid right now looking to talk to the referees, but he has to focus defensively. I think that possession was a weak possession. Embiid at the rim, he doesn't jump at Morris. And if you're Embiid, you got to stay locked in there. That's a horrible offensive possession if you're Joel Embiid. You don't get a quick shot, and then when you try to draw the foul, you don't play through the contact. You're playing for the foul. This is a horrible possession. Whether he's fouled or not by Horford, you cannot play for the foul in that opportunity. In turn, you look at what the Celtics do. They take advantage, get out and run. Marcus Smart gets a breakaway slam. Now they're up 4 with 23 seconds left, 108-104. This is Ask Isaiah in-game NBA analysis. We'll be back.